Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. You're watching AMS Live. Welcome. It is Friday, November 3rd, 2023. My name is Boy, and it's the day after the day before. Good morning, everybody. JD, Wietse, Gosse, Jackie, Ronald, T-Mac, Andrew, Marja, Floris, Justin, Vinny, Camille, salut. Windscale, good morning. Ruben, goedemorgen. Hey there, Tom, good morning. Stefan, good morning. Koen, goedemorgen. Hey there, James. Kiano, Matthijs, Veldi, goedemorgen. Frits, goedemorgen. Chunky, good morning. Gerrit, goedemorgen. Marinus, goedemorgen. Aaron, goedemorgen. Evelyn, good morning. André, good morning. Edward, goedemorgen. Kevin, good morning. Peter, good morning. Right, so even though I have various reasons to dislike it today, I have gone out with my rain setup. I did have a rain cover, but putting it on is like putting on a sail over your camera, which is already quite bulky and susceptible to the wind. So yeah, it's something I really rather wouldn't do, but have done today. So if rain is going to fall, we should stay dry. Everything is in order. But I think the audio is not going to be good and tracking will be less optimal because it's like putting on a sail which is susceptible to the wind. At the moment, this is the current weather situation in the Netherlands. We are at the yellow square. This is something that is not real. The spike is fake. We should stay dry actually, but just in case it would start to rain, we are covered. At the moment, this is the only runway used for arrivals. We have Kaagbaan and Alsmeerbaan being used for departures. And the weather situation right now, we have the wind has become a bit more southerly. Was more westerly earlier. At the moment, 14 knot wind from 210 degrees. We have few clouds at 1,000 feet, a few clouds at 1,800 feet, broken clouds at 2,500 feet. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more. Temporarily, visibility can go lower to 7,000 feet. This is the big picture in terms of kings and queens. There's a queen approaching Dutch airspace, CATHAY Pacific Cargo, Boeing 7478 arriving from Dubai. And not far behind it, we have a 747-400 arriving from Jeddah. We're also waiting for the Emirates A380, which is just over the Black Sea still, entering Bulgarian airspace. Looks like a standard livery, expected to arrive around 12:30. So that is at the moment the current status quo. Let's have a look. On the weather, on the radar, on flight radar, the next airplane to arrive is going to be a Finnair A321 arriving from Helsinki, flight 1301. Now, there it is. You can definitely see that there's a little bit of crosswind. Oh, this is what I meant with using the rain cover. You have to reach under the rain cover, which is also inflicting movement on the camera. Skeet, good morning. Katie, good morning. ETK, good morning. Right, well, there you go again. Each time I reach under the rain cover, it pushes the camera downward. Right, next up. Hey Bram, goedemorgen. Mrs. Professor, good morning. Eddie, good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. Steve 88, good morning my buddy. Michard, goedemorgen. Frank, Richard, good morning to you all. Hope everybody is doing alright. Hope everybody weathered through the storm yesterday safely. Hopefully no personal belongings were damaged. If we have a more quiet moment, I can show you how wet the fields left of me are right now. We did have a lot of rain. Next up is a 777-300ER. It is KLM flight 592, arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa, where it departed 10 hours and 26 minutes ago. The airplane is 2 years old, first flight December 2020. Part of my rain cover is also covering my phone, and it is covering a little bit too well. Let me try to rearrange the unit a little bit. There's a 777 A330 behind it. Arriving from Toronto, Canada, A330-200. Hey Marnix, goedemorgen. Steve Ford, good morning. Now guys, let me know how the audio is. In front of the rain cover there is a tiny hole, and the front part of the furry dead cat is in front of it. So I'm not sure if the Sennheiser picks up the volume, the audio of the landing airplanes adequately. So maybe locking first, then zooming out, unlocking, and then turning back is the way to go. Will provide the most stable footage for you guys probably. Let's try a little zooming in. I'll try to refrain from zooming out and in when the airplane is landing as much as possible, so that no uneven movements will be inflicted on the camera. Audio is okay, audio is fine, okay. Good to hear. This is KLM flight 696 arriving from Toronto, Canada, Airbus A330-200. Flight time right now 6 hours 19 minutes. The airplane 17 years old. Had its first flight in April 2006. Alright. Hey Euro Aviation, good morning. Congratulations on your stream yesterday. Fantastic show, guys. And Hans says maybe the voice level not down a notch and ambient up a notch. Let me try that. See what you guys think. Voice down one notch, ambient up one notch. Just did that. So the next airplane to try that out on is already approaching behind me. American Airlines flight 204 arriving from Philadelphia, Boeing 787-8. Flight time of this airplane 6 hours and 12 minutes. 8-year-old airplane, first flight August 2015. Well, I am going to try to, I was saying I was going to try to zoom a little bit. Right, talk to me guys. Ambient is better now, okay. The sun is even starting to shine over here. How about that? We have a few moments before the next traffic is coming, so let me show you guys the big picture. This is what it looks like now, looking to the south. We can even see the sun and some beautiful rays between the clouds, looking to the southeast, southwest, west. Hopefully you guys can see. Can you see it? Yeah, you probably can. You can see the moisture on the fields. A lot of precipitation yesterday. And looking at the chimney in the distance. Smoke is blowing away from me, so roughly 45 angle versus the runway heading. Alright, now, not sure. Visibility is impaired because there's now a little rain cover in between the screen of my camera and my eyes. Luckily it's dry. If it starts raining, I also will take off my glasses, because if there's droplets on my glasses, there are more interferences. This, yeah, I can see that the next airplane is visible already. Thank you, Mikey. We'll do my best. But even if it were to rain, we should be covered over here. All right. Now, let me have a look. Let me say a big thank you to Tom. Can I also do that differently? All right, I have to log into my I see that Tom Cheney just gave me a very generous donation, and he also wrote something along. But to read that, I have to log into the PayPal account, which I have to do manually, unfortunately. Oh man, that works poorly. Can I see the entire message? Right, good morning boy, thought you might need some euros for hot coffee today. See you in 2 weeks, coming for a month, then the rest is no longer visible. Tom, thank you so much for your PayPal donation, buddy. I also saw that you reached out via Instagram. Unfortunately, when standing here, I'm not able to read the entire message, but I will do that and respond as soon as I am able to. Thank you so much, Tom. But you're coming to the Netherlands shortly. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you over here in real life. Shake your hand, buddy. This is a Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena. We have some more treats underway. The next airplane to arrive, just about visible in the distance. Where is it? There it is. Airbus A330-200 arriving from Vancouver, Canada, KLM flight 682, underway now for 8 hours and 54 minutes, and the airplane is 18 years old. First flight was in July 2005. Jose, thank you so much, buddy. Coffee for boy, he writes, coffee for boy. I forgot to bring along coffee though, so I will have to pick up some on the way back home or when I get home. Thank you so much. Do drop by for some coffee when you have the time for it, Jose. Always nice to catch up in person. Oh yeah, and we're still planning on grabbing dinner after my diet is done. So that is 1 more week, including the upcoming weekend. So I will get back to you either today or tomorrow. Oh, even trying to push the back button on the phone induces a movement. Our next airplane should be an Airbus A319 arriving from Frankfurt. Flight 988. Flight time 48 minutes. Relatively old airplane, 26 years old. First flight was in January 1997. Lieve, goedemorgen. Welcome one and all who have joined us in the meantime. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of crosswind today. Yesterday the wind was fierce, but more southerly, more headwind. Hardly any crosswind component in the wind, and today there's more, as you guys can clearly see. And the first butt shot of the stream is incoming in a few seconds. Alright, the Queen is entering the glide slope. Let's see if we can spot her already. Let's have a quick look at the landing. This British Airways arriving from London Gatwick. First Queen is now number 2 on the glide slope, preceded by Air Arabia A320 arriving from Nador. And Lance, indeed, the Portaloo seems to have gone. In fact, seems to be, is this normal or is this damaged? It looks like it is damaged, and the Portaloo seems to have made a turn to the left, or is it gone? Let me have a quick look. Oh no, it is gone. My word. So Kieran was not just a regular storm, it was a shitstorm in the end. The Queen is coming, preceded by this Air Arabia A320 arriving from Nador. Let's have a look at the landing first, quickly. I was trying to zoom out, but Getting your arm under the rain cover means moving the camera, unfortunately. Now, next up is our first queen arriving from Dubai, Cathay Pacific Cargo Flight 2067, Boeing 7478, flight time 6 hours and 35 minutes as we speak. It's a 7478 freighter, 11 years old already. First flight was in November 2011. Fantastic. Vanishing in a mist of spray and reappearing like a phoenix from the ashes, and beautifully illuminated by the sun that it looks like came out particularly for the occasion. Hope the audio was good, was decent despite the rain cover. And gracefully vacating the runway. Still away back to the gate. Cargo area is on the south side of the main platform area, adjacent to runway 0624. We have one more queen coming before the A380, which is expected around 12:30. The Dreamliner from Aeromexico also already approaching. Where is that? Yeah, that's Aeromexico Flight 25 already. Early. Right. We're now looking at an A320neo that is arriving from Bristol, EasyJet, Flight 22921. Flight time of 58 minutes as we speak. The airplane 4 years old. First flight November 2018. Glorious lighting, absolutely spectacular, as is often the case this time of day. Also definitely nice to have a look at the clouds that are also illuminated beautifully by the low sun. Lovely big picture. The next airplane coming up, already approaching. Air Arabia Maroc, arriving from Tangier. Another A320, flight time 2 hours and 56 minutes. And good morning to all viewers who have joined in the meantime. Welcome to the show. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you and yours weathered through the storm yesterday unscathed. So if you just tuned in and you think, why is the audio a little bit off? Today I am in full wet configuration, even though the weather radar predicted it is going to stay dry for the upcoming hours. Just to test out managing the camera, particularly also testing the audio. First time out since I got the Sennheiser upgrade, which is a bit more chunky but also a bit more sensitive, so I'm very curious to listen back the audio of the stream when I get back home. Camera operation is a bit difficult, which is why I'm always a bit hesitant to start using it, the tent, but with the many rainy days ahead and already behind us, I think there's no choice. This is play. It is playtime, ladies and gentlemen. A320neo arriving from Reykjavik. Flight 460. 2 hours and 38 minutes of flight time now, touching down. Quiet as a mouse. Playtime butt shot incoming. More A320neos coming in. Murmuration also coming in. Almost sounds like geese. And I'm not sure, I cannot make them out, but maybe they aren't. They do look smaller. The next queen is over the city of Amsterdam, so I'm also having a look to see if I can maybe see it visually already. It is at 7,000 feet. If it is visible, it should be somewhere in this field of view. I'm looking above the horizon, but I'm not seeing it. It's going to make a turn to the north and fly downwind, and it will eventually land on this runway. It is still at 7,000 feet. Yeah, now I'm not seeing it, but we will see it soon enough. It is approaching the 747-400 arriving from Jeddah. But before that, this next airplane, Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb. right. Now it is time for a couple of heavies. Aeromexico Flight 25 arriving from Mexico City is going to be first. We can already see the next airplane behind it, which is Delta Airlines Flight 136, an Airbus A350-900 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. First, this 7879 Dreamliner from Aeromexico Flight 25. Flight time of 9 hours and 31 minutes. Now touching down. And it's a relatively new airplane. Had its first flight February this year. Ooh, Captain Speedy Gonzalez is going to give us a butt shot to boot. Beautiful. Hey there, Blackbirds. Good morning. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Alright, next up, the first A350 of the show, Delta Airlines arrival from Detroit. The next airplane visible behind it is a Turkish A330 arriving from Istanbul. In the foreground, Delta Airlines Flight 136, Airbus A350-900, flight time 6 hours and 44 minutes to get from Detroit to where it is right now. The airplane is 4 years old, first flight December 2018. And the Turkish Airlines A330 is going to be a special livery, UEFA Championship. And I am going to try to operate by manually simultaneously so that I can also zoom in and out a little bit. Yeah, obviously just using one hand to pan is more smooth than trying to zoom in and out of the process. Ooh, is that the Queen in the background turning onto the glide slope? I did see an airplane briefly, but then oh, there it is. Yeah, I think that is the 747. Yeah, that is the 747, now number 3. Right, first up, this Turkish Flight 1951 Airbus A330-300 arriving from Istanbul, special livery, UEFA Championship. Alright, next up, 2 airplanes. Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner up first. Arrival from Panama City, KLM flight 758, flight time 9 hours and 18 minutes. The airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in January 2020 and behind it is the second Queen. 747-400 arriving from Jeddah. Alright, Her Majesty the Queen number 2 for today is coming in. Saudia cargo, flight 933, arriving from Jeddah, Boeing 747-400. Relatively short flight time, 5.5 hours. The airplane is quite old already, 28 years. First flight was in December 1994. The next airplanes, well, one of the next airplanes already behind it. If the clouds allow an opening. And thank you so much, Marianne, for just becoming a member of the Aurora Sky Lounge. Welcome to the club. All the custom emojis that we have are now at your disposal. Thank you so much for your support, Marianne, and I hope you enjoyed the lounge. Welcome and thank you. Don't think that one used the reversers, it was very quiet and subdued. Still nice to see, but in the audio department a bit disappointing. Now, Marianne, thank you so much for just now gifting 5 AMS Live memberships to 5 other people. Folks, if you just got given a membership by Marianne, don't forget to say thank you to her. Thank you so much, Marianne, for a very generous donation. Thank you for your support. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, the 5 new members, and don't forget to say thank you to Marianne for gifting you a membership. Ah, mate. Dude, wat doe je? Oh, Gosse, dankjewel kerel. Gosse, thank you so much for just now gifting no less than 20 effing memberships to new members of the Aurora Sky Lounge. Mate, you really shouldn't have. Gast, echt. Thank you so much, Gosse. Don't forget to say a big thank you to Gosse if you just got gifted a membership by Gosse. Man. And also don't forget to like the stream if you haven't done so already, but you are enjoying what you're seeing. If you wanna keep updated of when I'm going live in the future, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that notifications will get to you whenever I go live. In the meantime, another heavenly body is also visible. And lovely Dutch cloudy formations. Lufthansa CRJ just landed. CRJ butt shot in the making. Alright, well, next up are a couple of narrow bodies. The first of which is from Tarom, the daily flight between Bucharest, Romania and Amsterdam. Wind is starting to pick up a little bit. Let's also have a look at the weather in a moment. Definitely tell that the wind is picking up once again. It was slowing down a little bit earlier in the morning, but it does seem to have picked up a little bit. Michael B says, first time viewer, loving the show. I'm happy to hear that, mate. Thank you so much. Welcome. All other viewers who are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat if you want to. Don't feel like you need to, but you're more than welcome to if you have any questions. A lot of knowledgeable people in the chat as well. You're all friendly. There's no such thing as a stupid question, so feel free to ask. Coming in next is KLM flight 1224, 737-800 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle, with a flight time of 47 minutes. It seems like the runway configuration has also changed. I'm seeing airplanes landing now on runway 27. Interesting. They did use runway 22 earlier in the morning, the Schiphol Oostbaan. Got two Embraer 190s coming up. The first one is arriving from Prague. The second one arriving from London City. Behind that is an A321neo arriving from Istanbul. Does look like a bit more rain is passing south of us. You can clearly see it is moving in front of us, not coming towards us. This is what is coming towards us. Not sure if it is going to stay dry, but shouldn't be a problem. Embraer 190 arrival from London City, now touching down. No reversers applied. Right, we've got an A321neo coming in next, plus an A320neo behind it. Is that Russell? I think it might be. Didn't hear him make a lot of noise. Might also have been Cheryl, and maybe Russell is up ahead. Keeping an eye out. Next up, Pegasus, flight 1251, arriving from Istanbul, Turkey, Airbus A321neo. Flight time 3 hours 15 minutes. A brand new airplane, had its first flight in January this year. Behind it there is an A320neo from EasyJet arriving from London Stansted. And another EasyJet A319 will follow. Hey, morgen! That was K4, honking, greeting, just passing by. Ooh, vortices. Just look at those engines, you can see through them. Very tiny core, high bypass engines. Hey there, Mizam. Good morning. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, welcome too. You're watching AMS Live. These are some crosswindy arrivals at Polderbaan. Currently one of the two runways being used. I will have to update the ticker and I hope to get some time to do that, but for now, still action. A320neo arriving from London Stansted, followed by an A319, followed by a Dreamliner arriving from Las Vegas. Also got a departing airplane passing over. Not sure how well you can pick it up today with the mic being covered by the rain cover. Big Al says, catch you later, legend. already having to leave. That is very unfortunate, buddy. We will meet again. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is an A319 arriving from Manchester. Another EasyJet butt shot coming in. Now before going to the Dreamliner that is approaching, beautiful clouds passing by. There are a few darker clouds coming this way. This is the direction of the wind, more or less. But look at that. Magnificent sight, if you ask me. Right, let's quickly turn back. KLM 636 arriving from Las Vegas is coming, ready to touch down. Boeing 7879 Dreamliner, and the flight from Las Vegas to here has taken 9 hours and 10 minutes thus far. Hey there, Drew, good morning. And the airplane is 7 years old. First flight was in January 2016. Alright, a very big thank you to William for your super chat. Thank you so much, buddy, very much appreciated. Thank you so much for that, William. Our next airplane to arrive is the countdown flight number 765, arriving from Bonaire. And you can clearly recognize it is an Airbus A330-300. Flight time from Bonaire to here has taken this airplane thus far 9 hours and 44 minutes. The airplane itself 10 years old, first flight January 2013. Wow, how about that? A KLM A330 using reverse thrust. Now there's a first. Goedemorgen allemaal, and good morning to one and all who have joined in the meantime. Roy, Rick, sorry man. Paul, good morning. Frits. We've got two Airbus A319s up next. Not sure, we might get a few droplets. I think the most will pass south, but we might get a few droplets shortly. We'll see. Rain cover will keep everything dry, that's for sure. Next up is Speedbird flight 430 arriving from London Heathrow, Airbus A319, flight time par for the course, 46 minutes, maybe a bit longer. Well, no, that is average. The airplane is 22 years old. May 2001 is when this airplane had its first flight. Right, another A319 EasyJet. Did I say A? Yeah, no, it is an A319. Thought I said E, but it's A. Airbus. Arriving from Edinburgh. Edinburgh. That one city in Scotland. And the airplane has taken an hour and a minute thus far to get here. She is 17 years old. Alpine on the radio. It is Austrian registered. First flight May 2006. Embraer 190 behind it, which is arriving from London City. Maybe after that we have a little gap, which will allow me some time to update the ticker. Runway usage has changed. I think the METAR will also have changed. I can take you through the current situation on all aspects. The sun has gone, you can see it. We're in the shade now. Still nice to look at the clouds, Dutch skies, subject of many a painting from classical painters, and you can see why looking around. Alright, up next, Embraer 190 arriving from London City, KLM flight. Also, thank you so much, H or Ha, for just becoming a member. Thank you for your support. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. All the custom emojis that we have on the channel are now at your disposal. Use them wisely and definitely not sparingly. Ooh. Alright, well, we have a moment to spare to update the ticker and show you guys what is going on right now. We do have some airplanes coming this way, but they are still far away, so let me take you through the current status quo. To begin with, flight radar, well, the 747s that we were expecting have already landed. Zooming out, we can see that worldwide there are a couple of 747s underway. One has left Miami, one is flying over Russia. ETA 3:30 p.m., so late afternoon or mid-afternoon. These are all expected to arrive in the evening, so we don't get to see these. We are going to see the daily flight from Emirates in the A380 from Dubai to Amsterdam, which is expected around 12:30. Now over Hungarian airspace in the vicinity of Budapest, so that is on its way. Let's refresh the weather situation. The wind has turned more southerly. It began more southwesterly, it is turning more northerly, it is picking up a little bit. It was 15 or so, 16 knots, now 17, not a drastic change. Visibility on ground level is still 10 kilometers or more. We have a few clouds at 1,000 feet, a few clouds at 1,800 feet, towering cumulus clouds possible. Scattered clouds at 2,200 feet. The air temperature is 10 degrees Celsius and no significant changes in the weather are expected in the upcoming 2 hours. I will copy this so that I can paste it in the ticker when I'm done briefing. Runway usage. Let's refresh the page. As you guys can see, the polderbaan where we are standing at still being used for arrivals. Also runway 27 is now used for landing. Aalsmeerbaan and Kaagbaan are both used for departures, as has been the case throughout the morning thus far. Also, let's refresh the weather. This is the past hour, or is this the ahead? This is past hour. We're a bit left of the square. The square is Schiphol itself. We are a bit more west of that square. And we're right on the edge of where the rain is passing, so we might get a few droplets, as I was already telling. There's also some rain forming north of us, which you can also see when looking to the north, but we should stay dry mostly. Right, so done with the briefing. Let me quickly copy paste that METAR into the ticker for you guys to read back in your own tempo. Let me also adjust runway usage, which is now the addition of runway 27 for arrivals. Right, there we go. We should be good again. Right. I am noticing a few droplets. And I'm also noticing, hey bird controller, which you can hear. Sound effects of predator birds chasing away the birds. Oh yeah, and they can also shoot flares and fireworks. So if that's your thing, you might want to apply for a job if they have a vacancy. And in the meantime, we're waiting for the next airplanes. I'm thinking we might get to see the 777 arrival from Cape Town first. I'm also looking if I can see it already. So the bird controller is doing a runway inspection. Yo, Evan! Good morning, my man. Good to see you. Hope all is well. In the meantime, I'm looking to the west to see if I can see the 777 flying downwind. But I think it is caught in between the clouds. Our next airplane probably is going to be the 777-200 arrival from Cape Town. which I'm still not seeing, unfortunately. Definitely some rain falling over there. That looks like a cloud from which precipitation will fall. Still hearing some more fireworks being set off. A few drizzly droplets. This is where the wind is coming from right now, more or less. Turning back to the north. KLM 777 arriving from Cape Town, flight 598. Looks like it is turning base. And I'm still looking to see if I can spot it. It should be somewhere over there in the distance. Probably not far above the horizon. But I'm not seeing it. Oh wait, I do have it. I do have it. Now, where is it? Let me see. Should be... This is going to be a real challenge to get it in view. Well, there's the lantern where it's going to pass in the vicinity of. Let me have a look. Are you guys picking it up already? Oh wait, it is even further. Let's see, it should be over here somewhere. Oh yeah, in the far right. Now with the reflection of the rain cover, it is very hard for me to see. I think I do have it now. That is our next airplane, approaching the glide slope. KLM 777-200 arriving from Cape Town. Let's see. That's not it. Has it gone into the clouds? Oh wait. Just vaguely visible. That's it. Well, Rick, isn't this Max Verstappen coming in this airplane? Isn't that his airplane? Truth be told, I haven't been following F1 since Max's dad was driving Formula 1 and was teammate of Schumi. Well, his father did not have the same talent for racing as Max does, that's for sure. It has become something of a running gag over here on the channel. Well, I'm actually now really struggling to find the airplane. There it is. Reflections all over, also a few droplets. Let me see if I can improve on that by wiping the droplets away as much as I can. Yeah, that has improved visibility slightly. This is KLM flight 598, Boeing 777-200 arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. This airplane has been underway now for 11 hours and 6 minutes. It's a 200 ER, 19 years old. That's a good idea, Rick. Max Verstappen emoji. Go to the max. The First flight of this airplane was in November 2003, so next month... No, wait, it is November already. So this is the month in which this airplane is going to turn 20 years old. Well, Rick, I mentioned my age several times before already. But Formula 1, back in my day, quote unquote, the engines were V10s that still had a high-pitched whine reaching 20,000+ revolutions per minute. We had Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher, Jacques Villeneuve, and of course Jos Verstappen, the most gifted of them all. Well, that very much looked like an idle reverser landing, which is very KLM-like. The A330 we saw earlier that applied full reverse was the exception to the rule, but I'm all for more exceptions in that respect. The next airplane is approaching from Paris Charles de Gaulle. It's a 737-800, flight 1228. Flight time of 45 minutes, par for the course. 23 years old, first flight September 2000. Oh, Rick, going to a Formula 1 match without air protection. It's like trying to film Storm Kieran. I keep thinking of Sierran, but it's Kieran without a rain cover over your camera. Hey Paula, goedemorgen. And good morning to Brian R, who says first time coming into this live chat, love it. Thanks for saying hi, glad you're loving it. Hope everybody does, of course. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi, like Brian just did. Should you have any questions, feel free to ask. A lot of knowledgeable and also very friendly people over here in the chat. Chat. Not Chad, with a T, not with a D. Right, Embraer 190, or is that a 175? No, it is an Embraer 190 arriving from Norwich. KLM flight 1516, short flight from Norwich over here. 30 minutes. Let's see if I can rearrange the cover a little bit. Get the phone a little bit more room. Now I'm seeing a 777 arriving from Guangzhou on flight radar. Now turning onto the glide slope. Those typically use their reversers quite a lot, and I'm very much looking forward to see how it goes. Before that, we should see a BizJet, a private owner, and the registration is G-LUBB. It's the G-LUBB, which is arriving from Blackbush. Has taken 52 minutes to get here. I'm not seeing it visually yet, so... Oh wait, I think I do have it now visually. Let's see if I can also zoom in on it. There we go. This airplane is 25 years old already, had its first flight in January 1998. And it is a Cessna 525 CitationJet, privately owned. Rich G-LUBB coming in. Probably won't have to reach for the zoom rocker for this. In the meantime, in the periphery you can see birds, murmuration, and it has landed in the grass right in between me and the runway over here. So expect the bird controllers to get here hopefully soon. Is this Max then? Has he switched? Has he downgraded? Has he downsized his BizJet? Probably not. Oh, this is Jos. Okay. All right. Joska. Meanwhile, this is passing just south of me. Beautiful. Hey Jerry, good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well. Right, let me turn back the camera. We've got an Air France op Embraer 190 arriving. Oh, well, there you go. And there's a murmuration in the background as well. Further out. Hope you guys can see the two murmurations. So it's absolutely teeming with birds here. At least they got away in time before this airplane just now landed. That's the bird controller on the other side. Where has my flight radar gone? Okay, flight radar just collapsed and closed on its own volition. That is not supposed to happen. All right. Hey Peter, welcome to the show. Glad you're enjoying the show. Hope everybody does. Quickly back to the triple then. Let's look and listen. Arriving from Guangzhou, China Southern Cargo. That definitely didn't disappoint. Nice. Alright, well, now it is back to a couple of narrow bodies. To begin with, an A319 arriving from London Gatwick from EasyJet, followed by an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Bristol. Number 3 is an A321 Neo JetBlue arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. Now, can we establish a glide slope shot? Hard to see, the reflections are interfering a little bit. Oh yeah, and there it is, number 2, vaguely visible, only vaguely. John, thank you so much for your kind words, buddy. Glad you're enjoying. I hope everybody is and continues to do so. Very sorry that yesterday I was only able to squeeze out a 45-minute stream, the quality of which was not on par of what I'm used to being able to produce. I'm also contemplating upgrading my tripod. Me and Bart from V1 Aviation had a talk earlier in the week. He is experiencing the same issue as I have been, namely that resistance, the drag on the pan axis, so the left-right movement, has decreased gradually. Now, his case is a bit worse than mine. He was thinking about upgrading the mount. I said, well, there's also a spare part where you can get the drag mechanism replaced. And he has now gone ahead, and it should take 2 or 3 weeks before the part gets there and the replacement gets done. So I'm awaiting if that has fixed his issue. If it has, then I'm also thinking of going ahead with repairing that, having it updated, renewed. Otherwise, I think I might have to look for something heavier with more resistance, because particularly if the wind picks up a little bit, the left-right movement, the panning, becomes a bit shaky, and I think that has to do with not enough resistance, not enough drag. Behind the airplane you can see a murmuration. It's murmurations galore today. This is the Embraer 190 that is arriving from Bristol, flying for KLM, but it looks like it is from German Airways, one of their rentals, KLM flight 1050. Now, if there's hardly any wind, you can notice tracking can go relatively, padding can go relatively smoothly, but as soon as there's just a little bit of wind, it all becomes very uneven. And insufficient drag is the root cause of that, I think. We do get a nice German Airways butt shot with nice lighting. Ah, okay. Lance is informing us that the missing Portaloo has flown to Paramaribo in a new livery. Well, I'm sure it got airborne more easily than the A340 does, normally speaking. Well, not sure if we're going to stay dry over here. This is what is now west and southwest of me, so we might get a few droplets. Definitely looks like rain passing south. We'll find out soon enough. JetBlue arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. As if they additionally braked on purpose just to give us a nice butt shot. JetBlue A321neo arriving from Boston. Oh. Rookie error. Got a additional sail over my tripod now, so have to fixate everything. Jerry, thank you so much for your super chat. And Jerry writes, free Starling meat north of 18 right. Yeah, you just have to catch it yourself though. Gotta catch them all. Or you get them pre-ground and fried if they go into an engine, which I hope we don't get to witness live. Hopefully you guys can also see the rainbow. So there's also a pot of gold over there somewhere. A warm welcome to one and all who have joined us in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbound runway 18 right. One of two runways being used for arrivals at the moment, runway 27 being the other one. There's rain around us. You can see the rainbow, hopefully. With the exception of a few droplets, we've kept it dry thus far. There's a little bit of crosswind today, although the wind has progressed to become more southerly as the morning progressed. This is TUI Flight 361, a Dreamliner, a flying AMS Live logo. Boeing 787-8 arriving from Oranjestad in Aruba. It has taken this airplane 8.5 hours to get here. She's 9 years old. Her first flight was in May 2014. If you tuned in just now, you might have missed the arrival of two Boeing 747s. The first one was very spectacular with reversers, spray, everything basically, the whole package. Don't know the exact time anymore. I will, however. I will timestamp the highlights of today's show when I'm done streaming and once I get home. So if you want convenience, make sure to check back several hours after the stream is done and you will see timestamps in the description. It does look like rain is coming my way shortly. I think I can see the rain falling already, so we're going to be a little wet, it seems like. How extensive it is going to be, time will tell. We've got a couple of narrow bodies coming in next. Embraer 175 from KLM arriving from Stavanger is number 1. Followed by an Embraer 190 KLM arriving from Aberdeen, followed by a KLM 737-800 arriving from Dublin. Hey Anne, goedemorgen. Not sure how much we can see of the glide slope. Reflections are interfering. The reflections of my rain cover, but I do see on my laptop screen only one airplane. If you're not very well known with the Embraers, the 175 and the 190 are easily to discern by looking at the winglets. If you look at the winglets, this is relatively tall and it is standing outward more than on the Embraer 190. On the Embraer 190 it is relatively smaller and also standing more upright, more vertical. Now if you see two big ass engines and a relatively narrow fuselage, that would be an E2 Embraer 195, which you also see regularly over here since KLM is flying quite a few of them. Big picture wise, it looks very impressive. The sun at the moment still out, but this is what is coming. The birds are in the field, as is water from yesterday's precipitation, and we're going to see some more, it seems like. Next up is an Embraer 190, and have a look at the winglets and compare that with the previous airplane. You will see the difference between the 190 and the 175. This airplane arriving from Aberdeen, and we've got two KLM 737-800s behind it, one from Dublin, the other from Manchester. So it's the UK influx rush hour, it seems like. And a nice butt shot to boot. Oh yeah, check that out. Right, two Boeing 737-800s up next. This one arriving from Dublin, KLM flight 934. Flight time of 1 hour and 5 minutes. Our friendly neighborhood, the police just patrolled by. Nice friendly wave from the chaps. Meanwhile, it is starting to rain over here, so what I am now going to do is first take off my glasses, because if I get droplets on my glasses, and there are also droplets on my rain cover, I don't see anything. So get that safely tucked away. And we should be good for the time being. Alright, back to the camera controls it is. Alright, next up another KLM 737. This one arriving from Manchester. KLM B788 arriving from Southampton up next. This is KLM flight 916 arriving from Southampton. And B788, flight time 52 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old as we speak. First flight was in January 2018. You can see that visibility is impaired a little bit because of the precipitation that is between us and the airplane. We've got an Iceland Air Max 8 approaching the glide slope north of us. And that is a no reverser landing. You can see that the slots are closed and have been all the time. Useless feature on KLM airplanes, having reverse thrust. I hardly ever use it. Right, so big picture, what does it look like right now? Well, we're in the middle of some precipitation. You can see, I will not point the camera up too much. We're right on the edge. We can see blue sky further northwest of us. We're waiting for the next airplane to arrive, which is going to be a Iceland Air Max 8. So let's also get the weather radar up, see what has transpired since we last refreshed. And it looks like this little tail is now, and it's also activating. So this is now going to pass over us. Looks like we might get rain for a bit longer than just 5 or 10 minutes. It will pass eventually, by the looks of it. So it's just a temporary thing. Runway usage, still the same. METAR. Refresh. Right, so few clouds at 800 feet, few clouds at 2000 feet, scattered clouds at 2200 feet, wind speed yet up again, 1 knot, approaching the 20, still west, no, southwest mostly. And of course the King expected around, it was expected around 12:30, now it has gained some time, entering German airspace from the Czech Republic, and is expected in 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so. So yeah, blue sky visible over there in the north as well. Back to the camera controls it is. The Iceland Air Max 8. Already nearly touching down. Arriving from Reykjavik, Iceland. And another Iceland Air behind it. We have 2 consecutive Max 8s from Iceland Air. This has got to be the best livery of them all. Just a little bit of pink. What will the other color on the second one be? We'll find out soon enough. Here is our next airplane, another MAX 8 from Iceland Air arriving from Reykjavik, flight 506. Now, flight time 2 hours and 37 minutes. A 4-year-old airplane, first flight June 2019. And behind the airplane is an Embraer 190 from KLM arrival from Glasgow, and behind that it looks like an Airbus A330. Alright, it looks like it has stopped raining in the meantime. For how long, time will tell. But it has turned dry again over here. Now there's some fresh spray on the tarmac. There's only one thing that they need to do, and that is apply those reversers. And that is exactly what this pilot hasn't done. Pity. Right, ladies and gentlemen, members, get out your Lycifer chocolate emoji, because Choc-y is coming. And Choc-y is coming against a backdrop of beautiful clouds. It is the Lycifer Chocolaterie Special Livery Embraer 190 German Airways, flying for KLM. She's arriving from Glasgow. We know the specs from this airplane by heart by now. 15 years old, first flight January 2008. Flying as KLM flight 1472. Flight time 1 hour and 7 minutes. Wondering if you guys are picking up, there's an airplane flying directly over me, a departing airplane. Normally you would pick it up on the mic, but since the cover is over it, well, an airplane is in fact crabbing, as you guys are remarking. Remember, there is a nearly 20 knot wind right now, although predominantly from the south, so there is a minor crosswind component, mostly headwind. Wind is picking up, and that is showing in the following of the airplane. The DAPRI. Still a couple of more months that we are going to see it on a regular basis. Not sure until when exactly, but somebody mentioned, and could have been Marissa, that the lease was extended until at least after the winter season. Now quickly back to the north. Heavy is inbound. Airbus A330. A330-200, KLM flight 787, and it is arriving from Port of Spain. Thus far this airplane has taken 8 hours and 31 minutes to get here. This particular airplane is 17 years old already. The first flight of this airplane was in July 2006. Now, will this A330 pilot use the reversers as it's predecessor also did. Let's hope so. Unfortunately, it has turned out to be another standard KLM landing with no reversers. Pity. That's a waste of good spray. Right, well, not too long ago I was mentioning Embraers with big ass engines and relatively small fuselage, which are telltale signs for the E2 Embraer 195, and this is what I was referring to. This is KLM flight 1278, E2 Embraer 195, arriving from Edinburgh. Flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes. 2-year-old airplane, first flight March 2021. Followed by a regular Embraer 190 arriving from Bremen. Both visible in the beautiful glide slope shot, glide slope shot, glide slope shot. Meanwhile, as you guys can probably tell, it has started raining again a little bit. Wind is also picking up. Definitely a bit more gusty. Near idle reverse landing, unfortunately. They are really quiet, it has to be said. However, we do get to see a nice little butt shot in a moment. There we go. All right. Now with the rain comes some more wind. It is definitely a bit more windy than it was 5 minutes ago. Which means that the pilots on this Embraer 190 have to do a little work to get her on the ground safely and securely. This is KLM flight 1754, Embraer 190 arriving from Bremen. Short flight, 34 minutes. The airplane is 11 years old. First flight, January 2012. And Snorri, thank you so much for your continued support, celebrating 4 months of membership already. Thank you so much for that, Snorri, and I hope that you are going to be a member for many more 4-month periods to come. Thank you for your continued support, Snorri. We are getting a butt shot to boot. Or are we? No, we are. Now last time I was out for a somewhat longer stream, I noticed shortly before ending the stream that you guys were mentioning my voiceover mic dropped out. That unfortunately has to do with wear of the battery of the DJI mic receiver, which I only have one of, so it has to work during each stream. The transmitters I have two of, and I can switch those. So if you are noticing my voice dropping away, do let me know in the chat, and I will put the USB connector from my phone into the receiver. It does provide some interference, unfortunately, but it's not very substantial, and it does help to prolong being able to be out here. You can already see, or at least hopefully you can, the firefighters, they're doing their patrol rounds. They're later than normal. Normally they are already doing their round as I am walking up here and setting up. We are waiting for the next airplane to arrive, which is going to be an Embraer 175 arriving from Hanover. Let's have another look at the weather radar. See what has transpired. You can see some activation, but that is passing north of us. So we're basically having to sit through this, and it looks like I think we might get out of it sooner than it looks at first glance. So we should be good. If you're liking what you're seeing so far and you haven't done so, drop a like please, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to receive notifications of when I'm going live in the future. It's the only way not to miss out on streams. Singapore Airlines Dallas asks about any ducks in the pond. Well, I haven't seen the ducks in a while now. I did see one coot a couple of streams ago. Over here in the water you can see not much going on. Further north also it looks very empty in the water. We do have Russell and Cheryl over here. And looking more to the south in the stream, well, there are some birds. If you look in the direction of the bridge and then where the fence is, it looks like there are some birds in the water directly behind it. But that does seem to be everything going on in terms of wildlife over here right now. Now, this is still what is over here. Blue sky is actually really close by. If I just turn and just a little bit north of directly west, you can see blue sky. So we are really at the threshold of the bad weather and the dry weather. Now, next up, the firefighters. Threesome. They normally always honk when there are people watching. They're awfully quiet, so I'm wondering, am I actually the only one out here right now? It does look like somebody is out there. But that is not at the Spottersplatz fence. The fence is in the middle of the screen. And it does look empty right now. The only one crazy enough to be here today would be me then. And you guys, of course, digitally with me. I see a few droplets on the screen. But I also see a super chat from November Alpha. Thank you so much, November Alpha, for your super chat. And November Alpha writes, great content as always. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for that, November Alpha. Doing the best I can. Glad you're enjoying the content, and I hope everybody is. Let me see if I can carefully, because now everything is packed up, which makes it a bit difficult to get rid of the sunscreen, but I think the lens is now mostly dry again. We should be good again. And just in time to see the next airplane, which is an Embraer 190 that is arriving from Leeds, KLM. It has started raining again over here. We had a dry moment for a few seconds. Looks like a butt shot incoming. Now, not seeing any traffic going to runway 27 anymore, which is nice. If that means that now we are at the only active runway for arrivals, and that is going to stay that way for the next half hour or so, it means that the A380 is going to land on this runway and not on runway 27. So let's have a quick look. Well, LVNL always is a little behind, so it might actually be already closed. Let's keep an eye out for that, because it would be a tremendous gift to see the A380 land with all that water on the runway. And Jerry asks if it is illegal to sound a horn in Europe without a cause. Well, probably is, but I don't think that our police and other authority services have the people to, first of all, check on that, and second of all, it doesn't happen that often, I think. Just trying to look for a word in English. Handhaven. Folks, help me out. What is the English word for handhaven? I'm sure I know it, but it doesn't come to mind immediately. A380 looking to land on Polderbaan. Excellent, excellent. Has that been confirmed already? Sustain? Sustain, Mario says. Okay, well, they're definitely not. Well, unless of course you continuously sound your horn after a football match or something, and you go drive through the city constantly sounding your horn, then the police might give you a fine if they catch you in the act, but that probably isn't going to happen very likely. Enforced. Thank you, Scarbo. That was exactly the word I was looking for. Couldn't think of it. Thank you so much. So, first of all, they have to catch you doing it, and second of all, even if they did, I'm pretty sure they would give you a warning. Just don't do it again. And then you'll say, alright, officer, I'm sorry, I will never do it again. Anyway, Embraer 175 arrival from Luxembourg is next. KLM flight 1740 arrival from Luxembourg. Short flight, 45 minutes, which is still, and I was surprised by that, still about the same time as airplanes also take to get from London to over here. For my, well, intuitively Luxembourg feels closer by than London does, but looking at how the crow flies, which is basically, well, no, that's also not true, which is what airplanes can do theoretically. Same duration. but that also goes for Paris. Paris is also on average a 45-minute flight, Amsterdam to Paris Charles de Gaulle, or vice versa. Interesting. Anyway, I'm just babbling out loud what I'm thinking about. Shermerlon asks about an A350 from Corendon. I didn't know that they had A350s. I haven't seen any A350s other than Delta earlier in the stream. I didn't even know that Corendon had an A350. Now I'm also going to put on the hoodie of my parka over my hat, which is over my cap, so that nothing gets blown away. Right, Malcolm says that the A380 is 6 minutes out. There are droplets on my phone screen. Let me try to... Let's turn off the phone screen. It is relatively well protected against rain droplets by my camera rain cover, but there are a few droplets that have landed on it. Now it is dry again. 26 minutes out. Okay. Is my flight radar working or not? It doesn't look like traffic is immediately in the vicinity. Right. Still a bit of rain falling over here. I'm just going to keep the camera to the north so that we don't risk getting any droplets on the lens unnecessarily. Looking at flight radar, it looks like there are airplanes coming, but they are all still relatively distant. We might see a Dreamliner arriving from Rio de Janeiro. Let's see, 737 arriving from Berlin. They are all flying east. Let me have another look at the runway usage. Just now it was runway 27 also open. Let's see if I refresh what it then says. Yes, that is exactly what we want to see. Means that the A380 is very likely going to land on this runway unless they open up runway 27 in the meantime. Also updating the weather. Wind is from the south-southwest and is approaching 20 knots. We have few clouds at 800 feet and some few clouds at 2000 feet, scattered clouds at 2200 feet, visibility 10 kilometers or more. Temporary moments of visibility 6000 feet with showers and rain. Let me also copy paste that into the ticker in a moment. And the Emirates A380 is approaching Dutch airspace. So yeah, that is the current status quo. Alvin, what's going on, mate? Hope you're keeping dry, boy. He writes, thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. I am trying to keep dry. My clothing, my parka is getting wet, but it is waterproof. I'm also wearing rain trousers and Wellingtons, so I should be good here. The camera is tightly wrapped up in a rain cover, keeping it dry. I've got two garbage disposal bags over my power supply and also the tripod bag over it, so that's 3 layers of covering from moisture. And the laptop is in the laptop tent with all the other gear. And the wind is not blowing precipitation into the tent, so everything is staying nicely dry. Just a few droplets on my phone screen right now, which is also being covered by the rain cover. So, oh, and now it is actually interacting on it's responding to the droplets. So let me wipe that clean. That is quite annoying. It is a capacitive touchscreen, and when droplets get on it, it responds as if you're touching the screen with your fingers. Thank you for your kind words, Simon. Doing a fantastic job considering the day. Well, wish I had thought of this yesterday with the storm, but then again, proof of concept, it does work reasonably. Well, Dreamliner arrival from Rio de Janeiro is approaching the coast from the west. And I'm not seeing anything yet. But then again, I'm not wearing my glasses, so being able to see far away without glasses is not my strongest point. Quite typical that we now have such a vacuum of air traffic. Don't see that very often. Has happened before, but it's not something that happens regularly. Indeed, Alvin, indeed. When you try using your phone when you come out of the shower. Also, if you haven't wiped your feet completely dry and you try to put on socks, that's also very annoying. Tried that yesterday. Came home from going out, but I didn't have my Wellingtons on, so my feet were soaked. And I was trying to put on fresh, dry socks, but it didn't work. Tried rubbing them off with the towel. It was still not enough. So basically, what I eventually did was get out the hairdryer and wiped them a little dry. Blew them a little dry, I should say. Now in the meantime, I think that the precipitation has halted again, so let me at least get the rain over the rain on the rain cover that is interfering my view on the camera screen. Get that away. Hey, Deon and the whole class are watching. Excellent. Shouldn't you guys be learning stuff? It's a school day, right? This is also educational. Police patrolling. Hey, officer Rudolf. Ik ben niet weg te waaien. Nee, gisteren alleen. Had ik geen regencover mee. Dat was niet goed. Maar vandaag... Ja, zeker. Hoe is het? Lekker aan het werk? Lekker droog?
Ja, dat vind ik wel belangrijk.
Het is rustig, niemand hier te zien behalve ik.
Hey, groeten maar, hè.
Is goed man, groetjes, Rexen. Rudolf Daters, my number 2 subscriber. Back in the day, he and a co-worker already passed by then. Catch up, they were interested in seeing what I was doing back then. I just did my first public live stream then. Nobody saw it, of course, but he made some pictures, put it on Twitter. That got the ball rolling. My first next subscribers and views. Great guy. Always stops by to say hi and have a little small talk whenever he's in the vicinity. Now, we should see the next airplane any minute now. It is KLM flight 706, a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Rio de Janeiro. I'm trying to see it visually, but I don't have it yet. Visibility impeded by the precipitation. It has started raining again. The Dreamliner is arriving from Rio de Janeiro, which has taken it so far 10 hours and 53 minutes to get here. You do see some lights from the bird control vehicle in the distance, but not yet the landing lights of the Dreamliner. KLM flight 706, a 6-year-old Dreamliner that had its first flight in July 2017. John says no planes entertain us with a dance in front of the camera. I will do that exactly when hell freezes over. I'm willing to commit to several things, but that is absolutely not one of them. Right, well, I do see some light at the end of the tunnel, looking to the southwest where the rain and the wind is now coming from. So I think the end of the rain is coming near. Do have lovely lighting on the other side. But then again, I do also start seeing the lights of that Dreamliner, which I'm not yet seeing on my screen because of droplets in between. That was a rhyme I did not intend to make, but it turned out that way. Wipe clean the rain cover once again. Oh yeah, bottom center, have it. There we go. Right, arriving from Rio de Janeiro, KLM flight 706, 7879 Dreamliner. 6 years old, first flight July 2017. Flight time at the moment 10 hours 55 minutes. There's fresh water on the tarmac, so fingers crossed that the pilot landing is going to use the reverse thrust. I did hear spooling up modestly, but that is a waste of good spray potential. Again, lighting, very nice. This is the direction of the wind. You can see if you look at the horizon that some more brightness is getting close by. At the moment it is no longer raining, in fact, so hopefully visibility to the north will improve in the coming 5 or 10 minutes. And Paul is confirming that the A380 is coming here. That is terrific news. We already kind of sort of figured it out. It didn't have another option, but thanks for confirming that, Paul. That is great news. Let me do another quick wipe of my phone screen as well. Get most of the moisture off. Turn it back on again. Thank God for facial recognition unlocking. And you have to open the screen, enable it, and you're done. Right, our next airplane is another KLM Blue 737 KLM flight 1822, arriving from Berlin with a flight time of 54 minutes. This airplane, 12 years old already, had its first flight in May 2011. Now you might have also caught on some of the fireworks that were being set off by the bird controller further to the north. The mic was still pointing there when it happened. Jerry asks, do people in the Netherlands ice skate with clogs? We do everything with clogs on, mate. We go under the shower with clogs. We go to bed with clogs. We do ice skating with clogs. We just use a screwdriver, mount those irons directly under the soles. We do everything on clogs here, mate. Okay, for the culprit of the fireworks that we heard a little earlier, and above it is an Embraer 190 being followed by another Embraer 190. The first one arriving from Hamburg, the second one will arrive from London City. Right, this is KLM flight 1780. As we are getting a few more droplets. Probably the last remnants of the shower that we saw on the radar. Embraer 190 arriving from Hamburg. Hamburg not far away. This is a 40-minute flight thus far. Has been, I should say. 9 years old. First flight of this airplane was in January 2014. Embraer 190, so if you want to discern it from the Embraer 175, as I said earlier, have a look at the winglets. The relative size and the angle gives away what kind of airplane this is. Relatively smaller winglets, more vertically oriented, equals Embraer 190. And is this Captain Wheelie? I think we have Captain Wheelie. Captain Wheelie once again visiting the show. Outstanding, beautiful wheelie, particularly considering the weather circumstances. Captain Showboat. Now I know my buddy Jose thinks stuff of this as a former pilot. Unsafe, but it does look nice when it does happen. Got another Embraer 190 coming up next, arriving from London City. It's going to be followed by a 737 arriving from London Heathrow. Can we see that already? Just about top left corner. Visibility not yet perfect, but it is improving. This is KLM flight 988, origin London City, destination Amsterdam Schiphol, flight time 38 minutes as we speak. Airplane age 9 years, had its first flight in January of the year 2014. Embraer butt shot incoming in 5, 4, 3. There we go. Right. Not the only one over here anymore. We have two brave souls that have also ventured out, probably to see the Embraer, the A380. So there's now 3 of us over here, and of course the bird controllers. Has picked up raining again. I spoke too soon. Wishful thinking, mostly of me. Another airplane arriving from London. This is KLM flight 1008, arriving from London Heathrow, 737-800. Flight time 41 minutes. That's par for the course. 40 to 45 minutes is what these airplanes average. London to Amsterdam and vice versa. This particular airplane is already 17 years old, had its first flight in April of the year 2006. Oh, come on, guys. so much unused spray potential. However, I'm pretty sure that the A380, once it lands on this runway shortly, will make good on that. Will blow dry everything and everywhere. Right, next up is an A320neo, but before that I want to say welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Renee 1628. Thank you so much for your support. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Have fun with all the custom emojis that are now at your disposal, and thank you so much for your support. Also, make sure, if you haven't done so already, but you're liking what you're seeing, to drop a like. And if you want to receive notifications of when I'm going live, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell icon if you haven't done so already. The next airplane coming up is an Airbus A320neo. Can we see the next airplane already? I'm looking through droplets on my rain cover. I'm not seeing anything. Quick glance at my laptop screen behind me also doesn't show a second airplane visibility, unfortunately. Not that great yet. This is an EasyJet A320neo that is arriving from Belfast. Flight 23051. Flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes as we speak. This airplane, 5 years old. First flight was in June 2018. Right folks, the countdown to the arrival of the A380 has begun. It is getting ever closer. This is the only runway being used for arrivals at the moment. Fingers crossed that they won't open up 18C or 27 in the meantime. But it's just a matter of minutes. Sure as hell would be nice if it got dry shortly before the arrival of the A380. Let me have a look. Can I see it on flight radar already? Yes, it is passing marker mirror. Will be probably number 4 with 3 Embraer 175s preceding it. First of those 3 should be close by. I'm not seeing it, but I'm not wearing my glasses, remember. I am myopic, nearsighted. Is that the proper term in English? So, do need glasses to look far ahead. I don't see any lights. I do not have it inside yet, but pretty sure it will become visible shortly. Oh, those are rain droplets interfering with the screen of my phone once again. Let's wipe that clean. I think it's droplets that are also moving down due to gravity that the phone interprets as a swipe or something. Well, immediately already more droplets on it, but we do have the Embraer 175, so there we go. KLM flight 1486 arriving from Humberside. Flight time 36 minutes. The airplane is 7 years old. The first flight was in September 2016. Let's see some spray, please. Could you do that? Please, come on. Bummer. Bummer. Right, well. They keep waving and I keep waving back. Bird control. The next airplane is an Embraer 175 arriving from Düsseldorf, and it's going to be followed by another Embraer arriving from Newcastle. And after that we should start beginning to see the Emirates A380. Visibility at the moment impeded because of the moisture that is falling from the heaven, and there is the next airplane. Can see it already, but not before saying a warm welcome to Benny Rees, who just became a member. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines, buddy. Thank you so much for your support and choosing AMS Live. Hope you like it in the lounge. All the custom emojis are now at your disposal, and just in time, because you can start using the Emirates livery, the tail, the ribbon tail, when that A380 is arriving. So a reset for the portable potty. The one that flew to Paramaribo has been replaced by another one, it seems like. The Portaloo with all the doo-doo. So this is KLM flight 1856 arriving from Düsseldorf, which is quite close to the border of Germany and the Netherlands. So this flight was only 28 minutes. Probably after Brussels, the most nearby destination that isn't land inward for relocation flights. Lovely weather. They're using the wipers to wave to us, as you guys can see. And they're also giving us a butt shot to boot. Right, well, you can see some more lightness over there, and it is looking a bit brighter over there. Not yet though. But luckily it is opening up further to the north. So let's see if we can spot that A380 already. And Jerry, thank you so much for your super chat. Let's watch the potty party. Absolutely, folks. Let's do that. We've got one airplane preceding the Emirates A380. The A380 should approach the glide slope from the right, further north. Let me see if I can get my bearings in. I think I see them both. Let me quickly, since it has stopped raining, let me quickly wipe clean the rain cover. Clearing my view on my camera screen. There we go. Now, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I will quickly have a look at the landing of the Embraer and then we'll go back to the A380. Just to see it land safely. Alright, it has landed safely. Now, where is it? There it is. it is the behemoth we have all been waiting for, the number 8 worldwide most tracked at the moment, tracked by 588 people on flight radar. The daily flights from Emirates between Dubai and Amsterdam on the Airbus A380-800. It is flight 147. This airplane has been flying for 6 hours and 39 minutes, so that is quite nominal. Airplane is 8 years old, first flight October 2015. The A6EOW. Right. Now we're in for a treat. 2 airplanes further north is LATAM Cargo 767 arriving from Miami, Florida. Also definitely something worth seeing. Got a sneaking suspicion that after this airplane, the LATAM Cargo will also use the reverse thrust quite royally. It's just a hunch. It is of course wishful thinking. First, let's look at the landing and listen to it and see how much spray will be produced by those reversers that will undoubtedly be enabled. Not too bad, but I had hopes for more than that. Too bad, but it was a nice landing regardless. And it also has begun raining again. To celebrate, the weather gods are celebrating with us. Also, a big thank you to Fritz, who just gifted 5 AMS Live memberships. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members. Thank you so much for your support, Fritz. And don't forget to say thank you if you just received a membership by Fritz. Thank you so much, Fritz. And once again, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. And it goes on. Jerry just now gifting 10 AMS Live memberships. Thank you so much for that, Jerry. A great thank you for your support, your continued support, and a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members who just got gifted a membership by Jerry. If you got gifted a membership by Jerry just now, don't forget to say thank you. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, new members. You all now have access to the custom emojis that you so royally go by when the A380 landed. We have more than that. Let me quickly go back to the camera because there is more traffic coming. Number 2 next is going to be a LATAM Cargo 767 that I also desperately want to capture. Very much looking forward to that. Before the LATAM Cargo lands, we will see this lot. Embraer 195 arriving from Warsaw. So this is a standard 195, not an E2. You can see that the engines are not as big as they are on the E2. Arriving from Warsaw. The rain is intensifying. This is the Mazurski, I think. With all the plums. They're plums, right? Yeah, they're plums. We also have an area in the Netherlands where we grow a lot of fruit called the Betuwe. Maybe this is like the Betuwe of Poland. I'm pretty sure there are other people out there who know better than I do. Right, our next airplane is LATAM Cargo. LATAM Cargo 767. Hey, no picture available, flight radar says. Aircraft photo not available. LATAM Cargo flight 1505, arriving from Miami, Florida. Flight time 7 hours and 44 minutes. The airplane age not available. Mystery plane. Mystery plane. Let's see how it lands. Let's listen to it. Let's see what the reversers will be like. That's what I'm talking about. Love the audio, love the video, beautiful. Indeed, Chunky, it was louder than the A380. The A380 definitely held back when it came to releasing the reverse thrust noise. Now, let's have a look. Got plenty of airplanes coming in, all narrow bodies, but that is okay. It's still early, 12:30. I'm thinking let's at least continue streaming until 1:15 or so, depending on what is coming. This looks like Aer Lingus arriving from Dublin, A320. Oh, and my phone screen is acting up. Moisture on the fingers, moisture on the screen, and it starts doing random things. I was about to say the SH word, but I think it's time to wipe clean the screen, at least of the phone. Irish butt shot. That sounds like a cocktail, but it is actually this very behind scene that you're now looking at. You always have behind scenes in plenty on this location. Right, phone screen dry. Let me also see if I can get my fingertips a little drier. Re-enable the screen of my phone. Right, back it is to the north then. Let's have another look. EasyJet landing. Oh. EasyJet butt shot coming in. Jose says you should laser your eye, boy. Well, my eyes are perfectly fine as they are. It's not like I have a big, thick set of glasses that I'm wearing to see in the distance. I do see quite well, but it does strain less when you use glasses, having to look in the distance the entire day. There we go. Transavia 737 arriving from Barcelona. Alrighty. Vueling coming up next. Is that the first Vueling that we have seen in the stream thus far, or have we seen other Vuelings? They don't immediately come to mind. Don, see you later. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day, buddy. This is Vueling flight 8309 arriving from Barcelona. It is an A320 that has flown now for 2 hours and 3 minutes to get here from Barcelona. That is also par for the course. Barcelona about 2 hours precisely. Istanbul roughly 3 hours. This airplane is 7 years old. First flight was in March 2016. Will the Spanish use their reversers, or will they not? So far not a lot of use of reverse thrust, but who knows? Our next airplane is going to be KLM flight 1534, which is an Embraer 190 arriving from Darlington or Teesside. And we are seeing a bit more open skies. Two airplanes in one shot right now, 2 for 1. Number 2 is a Transavia that is arriving from Pisa, 737-800. Number 3, not sure if we can see that already. Should be a bit lower at 7 o'clock of the number 2 typically. Not seeing it yet, but should become visible shortly. EasyJet A320neo arriving from London Luton. But first, this Embraer 190 arriving from Darlington or Teesside. Yes, a little bit of reverser action. Nice to see it here. Plus a little butt shot to boot. Next up is a Transavia 737-800 arriving from Pisa. Transavia flight 5424. Can we see the A320neo behind it already? Don't see it just yet. Should be there. Do see another flock of birds. I've seen quite a few murmurations already today. Thought that birds would fly south when winter was arriving, but they definitely did not get that message yet over here. Yeah, butt shot, noise. I see the lights of EasyJet flight 22515, the A320neo coming next. Arriving from London Luton, which has taken this airplane 47 minutes to get from to where it is right now. That seems a few minutes longer than normal. But it did probably have crosswind underway, or maybe even headwind, I'm not sure how the higher winds are blowing right now. This airplane, an A320neo, 5 years old already, had its first flight in August of the year 2018. Flown is saying 777 in 7 minutes. That is very good news. Very much looking forward to seeing more heavies. I do see it on flight radar pinching out a little bit, arriving from Guayaquil, Ecuador. Got a few narrow bodies approaching first, but it is approaching definitely. Now, what is also approaching is 5 new members, courtesy of Mr. Jerry Donnelly, who once again gifted 5 AMS Live memberships. Jerry, thank you so much for that, buddy. Your support goes above and beyond. I really don't know what to say, except thank you so much. And of course, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members who just got gifted their membership by Jerry. If you got gifted a membership by Jerry just now, don't forget to say thank you to him. Thank you so much again, Jerry, and welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 5 new members who have now access to all the custom emojis. Have fun and enjoy. Right, let me count. That's 1, 2, 3 Embraer 190s back to back, followed by an Embraer 175, and number 5 is going to be that 777 arriving from Guayaquil. Right, so 3 consecutive Embraer 190s from KLM. No, not from KLM, 2 from KLM, 1 from BA City Flyer, which is coming from London City, obviously. This Embraer 190 is arriving from Helsinki. The next one will be arriving from Basel. Is that maybe the second one from German Airways? This one is a true KLM airplane, flight 1166. that landing goes exactly as we would have thought it would go. No reversers, no nothing. Next up is a regular KLM Embraer 190 City Hopper arriving from Basel. It is from KLM itself, but not before going back to the laptop and say a big thank you to JD. Dankeschön, JD. And don't forget to say Dankeschön if you just got gifted a membership. JD, thank you so much. Those 5 members, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. You have chosen the best of the best, the Aurora Sky Lounge, the best place to be, the best seats in the house, most comfy, and definitely the friendliest of all chats. Thank you once again, JD, and don't forget to say thank you if you just got gifted a membership by JD. So this is the second KLM Embraer 190. This one arriving from Basel. Has taken this airplane an hour and 7 minutes to get here from Basel. She's 11 years old. Her first flight was in January 2012. After that, an Embraer 190 from BA City Flyer arriving from London City. And after that, an Embraer 175. And after that, a 777-200 from KLM arriving from Guayaquil, Ecuador. Captain Wheelie already touched down. He already got back home in one of the earlier Embraer 190s. Oh, and JD says 300 members to go to 10,000. Well, you mean subscribers or? Well, we can have a look at the How do I know which one was Captain Wheelie? Alvin asks. Well, dude, the big mother effing wheelie he made, considering the weather circumstances. Yeah, well, of course I don't know for sure. He didn't leave his business card, or she left hers, of course, but it was the same modus operandi. No reversers. The spoilers were up though, but it could have also easily been a copycat, definitely. Wouldn't that be something to have Captain Wheelie working at KLM City Hopper and also Captain Copycat? All right, one more Embraer and then it is triple time. I haven't seen any double triples yet today, have we? No. In fact, we haven't seen a lot of heavies to begin with. Also, no Delta A330s that come to mind. Did anybody see Delta A330s in the show today? I absolutely don't recall having seen them today, which is quite remarkable if you think about it. Unless they went to runway 27 for that short period of time it was open as a secondary runway, but ordinarily you would see them land on this runway arriving from the west. Now, folks, bear in mind, I think we are approaching the 3.5 hour mark of live streaming. Last time, around the 3.5 hour mark, my voiceover suddenly went dead shortly before ending the stream, and that had to do with the battery of the DJI mic receiver being empty. So as soon as you guys notice that, do let me know. Or what I could also do quickly is just... Well, no, the triple is already coming. So I'm not going to put my charging cable from my phone into the DJI mic receiver. Let's just see where we end up. Alright, the 777 we've been waiting for a while. KLM flight 751 arriving from Guayaquil, Ecuador. This is a 777-200 ER that has been flying now for 10 hours and 37 minutes. The airplane is a bit older. Still relatively young, but not as young as the recent Dreamliner fleet. This airplane is 19 years old already, first flight January 2004. Bit older than my car actually, which is from 2005. Will the captain apply reverse thrust, and will we see and hear spray and rumbling noise? Let's see and find out. Well, this was Captain Lucas Eddown. Haha, great minds think alike, Alvin. You know the saying. Just goes to show. Right, now let me have a look on Flight Radar, see what we can expect for the upcoming time. It does look a lot like a lot of narrow bodies, doesn't it? What is the next heavy that is going to arrive? Don't see anything inside of Dutch airspace yet. Right, so there's no particular airplane to stick around for. In that case, I will just end the stream based on time. I think between 1 and 1:15 would be a nice moment to stop then. There's no particular airplane in the vicinity that we necessarily have to wait for. Now, Jerry, thank you so much for once again your super chat. Jerry says, I'm hungry. Starling meat and crayfish. Served on a nice platter with some, well, you can fill that in yourselves. Vloon says Etihad in 22 minutes and Qatar in 27 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. They are indeed approaching. Right, well, Etihad and Qatar, I think I'm going to stick around for then, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Which reminds me that I am going to now get my charging cable out my phone. I have to carefully take the wire from my camera to the laptop tent. Yes, that receiver is running nearly empty, so I am now charging it, but you will hear some interference, unfortunately. That is the downside of charging it on the go, but otherwise the voiceover would go dead shortly. So this is a necessary evil, unfortunately, in order to stick out a bit longer. Now Ron Streams 20 celebrating 1 month of membership, saying, "Hey boy, thank you for the membership." Well, thank you for your membership and your support. Hope you like it here, and I hope it's going to continue to stay that way. And indeed, Lance, let's celebrate the return of the Polderbaan Portaloo. Absolutely terrific. Polderbaan Portaloo. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is not good news. I am looking at a Turkish A321, and it is going to runway 27. I think runway 27 has opened up as a secondary runway, which will also mean that Etihad and Qatar will also go there. Let me do an update of the status quo in a moment. First, let's have a look at this Transavia landing. Flight 6336. Nice symmetric flight number. 737-800, arrival from Valencia. This is an airplane that has been flying now for 2 hours and 13 minutes on this flight, and has been flying in total for 13 years since May 2010. It does look like runway 27 has opened up as secondary runway for arrivals. That means that those two heavies are right. Let me have another look with you guys. Current runway usage. Let us refresh the page and see that runway 27 is indeed now also open for arrivals. That means that arrivals from the east are going to land on this runway, so that means the same for the Qatar and the other one. This is the current status quo. Wind has been between 15 and 20 knots. The wind direction and the variability has stayed the same. Cloudiness also more or less unchanged. Minor showers and rain, temporary shower and rain, lower visibility, but overall visibility still the same. Not much has changed in that respect. Yeah, the kings and queens have already landed. There are still queens underway, but these are all going to land later. The first one, now in the vicinity of St. Petersburg, will land 3:30, so that is not something I am going to stick around for. Well, that being said, I think I am going to wrap it up after this airplane has landed. The last airplane of the day, not a heavy but a small 737-700 from Transavia. We set out to do a stream, test the rain cover. I think we definitely succeeded in establishing that even with the new mic, which protrudes even more than the old one did, it is a solution that is doable for when it starts raining. Camera still dry, Phone has stayed out mostly dry. Yours truly is getting wet once again. You might hear it has begun raining again, just a little bit. With everything, not a droplet on my laptop in the tent. I am standing, you might hear it. I am standing in a puddle of mud. The grass at this location has been trampled on by yours truly so often that it has become a bit muddy. Then again, I'm wearing wellies, so got my sneakers in the car. Take out those and put on the sneakers. Give them a good wash when getting home again. Still not very satisfied with following, but I think that also has to do with the aforementioned wear of the pan axis. I'm very much looking forward to hear from Bart from V1 when he does have his tripod renovated, if it works for him, if he can get more drag on the pan axis. If it doesn't make much of a difference, I think I might be in the market for a heavier, sturdier tripod. And otherwise, I'm also going to plan getting the pan axis renovated, which hopefully will result in more drag and more smooth following, particularly when it is a bit more windy. A small 737-700, one of the few that Transavia still flies. It is in a new livery. And not a lot of reverser was applied there, unfortunately. Now, it's not all doom and gloom over here. When you look further to the south, you do see nicer weather, but currently this is where the wind is coming from, where the rain is still coming from for the time being. So I'm going to turn the camera to the more happier vista, and I am going to say my goodbyes to you all. Thank you all so much once again for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time and I hope you guys did too. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. Thanks to everyone who was so kind to become a member or maybe donate memberships. A lot of memberships have been donated again today, so thanks to everybody who was so kind to do that. Thanks to everyone who super chatted, who super stickered, who maybe bought something from the merch store or donated through PayPal. Thank you all so much for your support. It means the world to me. You guys are the best, and without you guys this channel wouldn't be anything. So thank you so much for joining. Weather permitting, well, weather permitting is not much of a factor anymore today since we can also use this setup, but I'm looking to go out again tomorrow, most likely in the morning. Weather permitting, if it is really going to be dreadful, I might have to reconsider, but count on me being out here 2 more times this weekend and maybe also on Monday. But at least I'm hoping to see you tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, then maybe on Sunday, and if not on Sunday, sometime soon. Right, enough about that. I'm going to wrap up. Thanks again, see you soon, be safe, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.